Let's talk about doing a manual plot instead of an automated plot. We have a job here on our screen, and we want to basically, instead of letting it go through its process of slice and then your cuts and so on and so forth, we're going to go to the next step, which is manual. And we've shown you how to do it in the Y before, but we're going to do it in the X right now. Now, the other thing I also want you guys to be aware of is that we can do this by rotating it to get the best optimal shape and material use out of it to get where you want to be. And then notice these light gray lines. This is your grid. I like to position these sometimes to help give me some guidance. The other thing is, if you look at this, this is your 0, and it basically goes 0 up. We're going to go up to 30 inches. We're going to go 0 to 30 inches over here. So because we're going to be using the X, the other thing I want you guys to be aware of is that when you do this, when you move this over, when it changes colors, you've gone beyond the width of the material. This is the way the program helps you to stay within the width of the material. So you basically move it back to where you get your color back, come back over here. Now you can see we've got our first set of finger joints and then an identification. This is our first cut, and we could name this. I'll show you how we do that later. So we come back over here. Now we're going to go for our next one, and it's going to actually, it looks like we're going to get everything done in these two pieces here. So that's too far. Let's move this back over. There we go. So we've got all three pieces here, and it's ready to go. Now, when you go up to settings, when this box is checked, it's going to put a name in here. You could name it, in this case, this is 232 Barren Creek, Andy. Okay, so there we have it. And from here, we would just go ahead and we would pack it. Now it's getting ready to go, and we go accept. And it's going to take us to that point where we can now begin to set the job up to cut it. And at that point, everybody should know what to do after that. But I'm going to basically just get us to the point here where we can see the job. We can see that it's all three pieces. Using the control key, the CRL key control, we can show you how the job is going to line up on the vinyl. And, well, it's a little too long. We've got 224.96 inches. So we've got to pull this back. So let's see, we've got this, 138.819. I would probably say we could cut this. However, we've got a problem. If you look at this, it's 30.354 inches wide. Too wide for our material. So something isn't right. So we've got to look at that and say to ourselves, what are we going to do to correct that? Go back to the preview. Shows that it's too wide here. Again, too wide. If you want, you could rotate it and see it even easier there. Now you can see that it's too wide. This guy will fit. So there's something going on here with the width of the material and the way we actually cut that. So we have to stay within the confines of this material. It has to be inside the 30-inch material. So same thing with this piece also, too wide. So something is not quite kosher here, and we're going to have to go back into it and figure out exactly what that is. So what we realized in the last attempt in the manual mode in the X axis is that the plot we were trying to cut was too large for the 30-inch material, and there's a reason for that. What we're going to show you here is sometimes we just move too fast. We have to kind of step back, and we've got to give ourselves a little more room to move around on the material. So when we look at this, what happens here is You notice that we're still at the 0, 0. What happens with the X is when we push this across, we come so close, like we did the last time, we're right on the edge of the thickness or the width of the material. So we want to move it off so we have a little bit of space. You can see where the gray is off the edge. The gray line is off the edge of our countertop. This would be more likely an acceptable first cut. So come back up here, grab the X. Same thing again, give ourselves a little bit more room. Something like that. Now we see we've got all three pieces, and we'll be able to make this work. Go through this process again. 2, 3, 2. Auto, pack, accept. And what we're going to find this time is, look at here, real simple, 29.48, 29, 22. So if we were going to use the control key again, grab all three pieces, 29.488. We are well within the confines of this material to be able to cut this job. So that's part of the dilemma we deal with when we go with manual. You try and choke yourself out and get too much material on here, and it's going to not allow you to cut the job on the 30-inch material. So again, find the length that you want. Looky here. We've got 171.850. We're underneath the 185, 200 inches requirements, and we're also at 29.488. So we're really good to go with here. I would go ahead and cut this and proceed, and we'd have our first two pieces and we'd be done. So that's it. And then realize that when you get these two done, this piece still has to be cut, and it will still be on your screen. You just have to, once you're finished, click it, and then go through the same process of cut now and proceed, and off to the races you go. So that's how we keep our countertop inside the 30-inch dimensional requirements for the vinyl, using the X and Y manual functions for plotting a job.